So in the previous segment, as you know, we have seen one of the application of the parallax method. Now let's extend the same discussion with one more application of the same. And then following which we will study about the measurement of small distances that we cannot measure using the screw gauge. Now the first is the second application of the parallax method, that is to find the distance of a planet from the Earth. Now let's suppose I have set up two different laboratories on the Earth's surface. Now one of the laboratory is position A, another of the laboratory is position B. Now the most important thing that you need to know is what is the straight line distance between these two observatories which are present on the Earth. Now both the observatories are going to observe the same object, which is a terrestrial object O. Now what is going to happen? The observatory A and the observatory B are separated by a distance D. Now the observations made by these two observatories are to a same object O. Now this formula, this is theta is equal to small d by capital D, is valid only and only when the distance of the planet from the Earth is very large as compared to the distance between two observation point on the Earth. So this formula we can apply, theta is equal to small d by capital D. So the same application that we have seen for a parallax in the previous case is exactly the same, only the observation point is different. So earlier when we want to find the diameter of a planet, we choose only a single location because we need to observe two extremes of a same planet. Now here a same planet is being observed between two locations on the Earth. So we would be focusing on the center of the planet now, not on the extremes of the equator. So let's see with the question. Now the question reads as the parallax of a far off planet as measured from the two diametric extremes of the equator of the Earth. Now we have set up the laboratories on the two opposite positions of the diameter of the Earth. So that parallax angle of the center of the planet comes out to be theta, which is given as 2 minutes. If the radius of the Earth is 6400 kilometer, find the distance of the planet from the Earth. Now there's a slight twist in the question. Only the radius portion is given to you. So this is the radius of the Earth. So obviously you need to categorize this distance D, that is the diameter of the Earth, and this distance is the distance of the planet from the observation point on the Earth, that is capital D. Now we need to assume over here, let's try to solve this question. So we are assuming that capital D is very much greater than the small d. So theta, that is the parallax angle made by the center of the planet on the two observatory theta, is equal to small d by capital D. And here this theta value is given as 2 minutes and small d value we can calculate. So let's see the theta value first. Theta value is 2 minutes. This is 2 into 1 by 60 of a degree and then pi by 180 of a radian. So this value is being converted into radian. The next thing is the distance small d, that is 6400 kilometer into 2. So this is 12800 kilometer, and in the SI system this d will be 1.28 into 10 to the power 7 meter. I hope this is very clear to you. So let's put all the values in the formula that we have. We need to find out the distance of the planet from the Earth. So capital D is equal to small d by theta. Small d given is 1.28 into 10 to the power 7 divided by the theta value, which is 2 into 1 by 60 into pi by 180. So if you solve it further, the answer will be approximately 22 into 10 to the power 9 meter. So this is the distance of the planet from the observation points on the Earth. Now we are here assuming that the distance observed from the point A is exactly same as observed by B. This needs to be the approximation over here. I hope this is very clear to you. Now these are the methods we are going to apply to find out the large distances. So let's proceed further. Again, as I told you, we have a category of distances to measure. We have measured the very large distances. We have measured those distances which lies in the range of 10 to the power 2 meter to 10 to the power minus 5 meter using the ruler to the screw gauge. Now we have a different range to work on. So estimation of a very small distances like the size of a molecule. The size of a molecule actually lies in the range of 10 to the power minus 9 meter. So we have a different approach and they are as follows. The first is the optical microscope. Now, the details of the optical microscope you are going to see in the chapter of light in your syllabus. So, optical microscope can be resolved particle up to the size of 10 to the power minus 7 meter. Still, we are not able to reach to the molecular level. The next range is the electron microscope. Now, as compared to your perception, electron microscope is a very strong device and has a very better resolution. So, that can resolve particle as small as 0.6 angstrom. Can you imagine 1 angstrom is? 1 angstrom is actually 1 by 10 to the power 10 times of a meter. You cannot see that kind of a physical size. So they have that much resolution, but still we are not in the range of molecule. So the tunneling microscopy. So the next advanced version of electron microscope is a tunneling microscopy that can resolve up to 10 picometer. Now we can estimate the sizes and the processes regarding the molecules. Now in this section we need to employ a very important technique to find out the molecular size of an molecule. Now in this section we are going to employ a very important technique to find out the diameter of a molecule, and that is the volumetric method. Now in this volumetric method, the size of molecule can be determined by spreading them on a soapy solution of water. Now what we are going to do, let's suppose I take the sample of oleic acid. Now the size of the diameter of the molecule of an oleic acid lies in the range of 10 to the power minus 9 meter. So I have, let's suppose, taken the sample of pure oleic acid, and a volume of 1 centimeter cube of oleic acid is mixed with 19 centimeter cube of alcohol, and I mix them up. So I have a 20 centimeter cube of solution. Now from this solution I again choose 1 centimeter cube of this solution and again mixed it with 19 centimeter cube of alcohol. So resultively what do we have? We have a solution of 20 centimeter cube which has the concentration of 1 by 400. That means 1 by 400th portion of a 1 centimeter cube is of oleic acid. Now with the help of a dropper, I drop it onto the surface of a water. Now this oleic acid solution is now spread onto the water surface using a dropper. Now the water that we are dropping on the oleic acid is being mixed with lycopodium water before the dropping of oleic acid. Now obviously what is going to happen, that mixture of water has a property to stretch out the molecules of oleic acid on the surface. So when we keep on dropping the oleic acid on the surface, it will keep on spreading. Now the alcohol portion of the solution will be evaporated in the air and we are left with a very thin layer of oleic acid on the surface of water. Now we are assuming over here that the surface formed by the oleic acid is almost circular in shape. So the area of that we can find out. So area of that oleic acid layer is being taken using the help of a graph paper, and then the thickness of that molecular layer is also measured. So here I have taken the sample over here. This is the surface of the oleic acid we can see from the top view, and this is the side view. So this thickness we can measure using different devices. And the next thing that we need to see over here, since this layer is very thin, we can assume that the molecules of the oleic acid are arranged like this. So obviously this T is also equal to diameter of a single molecule. Diameter of a single molecule of a oleic acid. I hope this is very clear to you. That's why we have taken a very diluted solution of oleic acid. Now tell me how you are able to find out the volume of this disc formed by the oleic acid molecules. So let's suppose n drops of oleic acid solution is dropped on water. So we can write down volume of each drop we can measure by different methods. Volume of each drop is V centimeter cube and n drops are being dropped. So total volume of oleic acid solution is equal to NV centimeter cube. Now tell me, in this total solution, what is the percentage or what is the amount of oleic acid is present? So we can write down the total volume of oleic acid in it is equal to NV by 400, because it has a concentration of 1 by 400 for particularly oleic acid. Now this same volume you are also going to measure by the help of an area calculated and the thickness. So tell me, what is the volume of this disc? Volume of this disc is this area multiplied with the thickness. So I can write down, we have N capital V by 400 is equal to area into thickness T, and from here the thickness T can be equal to N capital V by 400 into A, and this is the thickness of the sheet that we have for the oleic acid, and that is going to give me the diameter of molecule of oleic acid. I hope this discussion is very clear to you. Now let's see the application of this volumetric method using a question. Now the question reads as 10 drops of an oleic acid solution of concentration 1 by 400 centimeter cube per centimeter cube of alcohol are dropped on a water surface. The circular film thus produced has a radius of 10 centimeter. Find the molecular size of oleic acid if radius of each drop is 1.4 millimeter. So let's try to solve this question. Let's first write all the data which is being given in the question. The radius of the drop is given to you, so we can write down radius of drop is 1.4 millimeter, 1.4 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter, and then the radius of the circular film that has formed is a 10 centimeter. So we can write down radius of the circular film is 10 centimeters, so that can be written as 0.1 meter. Now the total number of drops are 10 and the concentration is 1 by 400. Now let's write down the formula that we have. So we have the formula for the molecular size T is equal to N capital V by 400 into A. Now we are assuming that a circular film has formed, so obviously the area is pi. So this is being labeled as capital R and this is being labeled as small r. So this is N times of spherical volume I am assuming. So this is volume of a single sphere, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube divided by 400 into pi capital R square, that is the radius of the film. So let's put all the values that we have. We have T value equal to 10 drops are there, so 10 into 4 by 3 into pi into small r cube, that is 1.4 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole cube divided by 400 into pi and into r square. So this is 0.1 square. And this pi and pi will cancel, this 4 will cancel this over here, this is 100, and if you solve it further, this T value will approximately come out to be 9.15 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter, and that is approximately 1.5 of angstrom. So this is the molecular size of the oleic acid molecule, and I hope this question is very clear to you. So that's how this method can be employed over here, and you can see the significance of the same. So that's all in the segment. In the next segment, we are going to see how we are going to measure the mass and the time, and we are going to see the symmetry of the nature.